Kawaki has finally entered his revenge mode to finish off Jura, and this only means that we are one big step closer to the fight from the flashforward sequence. The constant disrespect and letdowns from numerous battles has transitioned into a power that might even surpass Boruto at this point. Let's be real, the way Boruto has been drained from the Jura battle, it won't be hard for Kawaki to beat him up or possibly get him killed if he wants. But judging by how he warned him from going berserk and did not straight up tell him something like you are next, makes it clear that he still wants to spare him for the while being. But the contradictions arrive when you realize how he had asked Amado for advancements just for the sake of killing Jura, Code and especially Boruto. So there may be a chance that he would straight up went to fight him without any warning after he deals with Jura. But before figuring out why it makes too much sense, based on some patterns hidden in the narrative, let's try to understand how this battle with Jura is about to go down by analyzing the official sneak peek. So last month when we got an exclusive panel, there was one important detail that everyone missed, maybe because no one thought of that possibility and the writers somehow hid it pretty well. It was the missing leg of Jura, which had been cut off by Boruto in an earlier panel, and while it's not visible at first sight in this scene, unless you see it with the context, I tried to look at this image with the same perspective, and here is what I found. The first panel has Kawaki with his Kama on, charging his infamous star for a full-fledged hit on Jura. The wave sign also indicates the force that went into this swing that Kawaki just landed on Jura. The Shinju on the other hand, even though he was being portrayed as the strongest entity in the verse, remains completely confused and startled by seeing Kawaki rushing for an attack. His one-eyed expression shows his helplessness in the situation, as the loss of one Rinnegan eye is more fatal than what you may have believed. Having two Rinnegans allows the user to split abilities between eyes, process multiple techniques simultaneously, and maintain perfect battlefield awareness through shared vision. With Jura losing one of his eyes, he must have first lost his ability to dual cast on top of losing half his field of Rinnegan visual input, and more importantly, he might need to rewire the combat style, which could even get him killed in a fast-paced battle. So judging by that, it would be safe to say that Jura with both Rinnegan wouldn't have gotten this dirty by Kawaki. This means the vital first move made by Kawaki, which was to destroy the eye of Jura out of nowhere, naturally gave him the biggest advantage possible. Now back to the panel. As you can see, Kawaki has hit Jura with the staff straight into his torso, and while it might appear that he would be pushed away with this hit, what I believe is that this attack will leave him with another hole in his body, which would force him to retreat, just as seen in the visions of Kashin Koji from the last chapter. What's remarkable about Kawaki in this battle is that he's not using sneaky or tricky tactics to fight Jura. The only thing he's utilizing is the raw strength, which has completely overtaken the Shinju by storm. One of the debates which has kind of came to an end with this panel would be the power discussion among Jura and Kawaki. While everyone believed Jura to be far stronger based on how he's a literal manifestation of the juvenile Ten Tails, the same creature who was used as a chakra source by Jigen to amp up himself time to time again. But looking at how Kawaki in his no limiter form has unlocked the full power of Ishiki or Suzuki, it seems like he was way above the level of Jura, and there was literally no competition to begin with. Jura did come with a lot of raw strength, but Kawaki also has the battle experience of Ishiki through the Kama, which already gave him a definite edge over his target. The loss of Rinnegan was also a big blow to Jura, and if he's gonna stay in the plot for some time, that he most likely will, based on how Kashin Koji saw a future where he was standing in front of a tree, which is likely the one based in their secret hideout. The tree also points at multiple possibilities, like maybe he's somehow trying to get more stronger, or maybe he would simply stay hidden till the right time comes, which might even cover the battle of the flashforward sequence. So here is a unique take that I don't think anyone has thought of. Everyone thinks that the Shinju and Momoshiki both must have been handled by the time the prologue takes place, but what if it's nothing like that? While Jura at this point is being used to show how powerful Kawaki has gotten, to the point that he can easily pierce holes into his body and even make him half blind. Maybe the whole reason behind bringing Jura to the story was to highlight how powerful Kawaki gets without limiters. But here is the thing, even though Jura would escape as hinted in Kashin Koji's visions, on top of the battles between the other Shinju and their respective targets, we still don't know what would be his next move after finding refuge to his hideout. The goal of this arc was never to get rid of Jura, as Kawaki now can do that anytime. So since he's not the greatest threat anymore, what if the story continues without him after the other Shinju come face to face with their counterparts? The one who could now take some spotlight in the story after this point has already been hinted in the pattern that I mentioned earlier. The correlating chapter number of part 1 from the recent installment marked the debut of Kawaki in the story. This is really interesting as chapter 23 showed us Kawaki returning with his most hyped no limiter form, the one that likely caused the destruction of Konoha in the future. Now it may appear to be a chapter exclusive thing at first, but I believe it's an ongoing pattern which will follow in the next few chapters. This is because we haven't gotten any explanation for how Kawaki unlocked the limitless form. That we will definitely get in the following chapter, and that's when the analogy kicks in. In chapter 24 of part 1, Kawaki's childhood was revealed to us from how he was abused by his father to how Jigen found him and used him for experiments. Now the main question which needs an explanation in 2 Blue Vortex right now is that what Amado took in return of unlocking Kawaki's limiters. Was it that he really revived Akebi, which means she will be introduced in the next chapter, or something else is going to play out in a different way than part 1? Well, I think the whole point of this analogy would be to have one element from the original chapter number and connect it with the sequel. Just like how we got flashbacks of Kawaki and some appearance of Delta in the same chapter number from part 1, the same thing could happen in the 24th chapter of 2 Blue Vortex with the reveal of the deal that Amado makes with Kawaki in return of giving him more power. It could be anything from the revival of Akebi to a promise that he might have made with Amado, something like a goal that he needs to fulfill before reviving his daughter. And the fact that he was able to reach this point makes it clear that he didn't destroy Akebi in case she had been revived, or let's just say he didn't revive her at all, and the exact reason will be revealed to us in the flashback. I have posted an even mind-boggling theory on this that you can check out later. Now as for who might take the spotlight if it's not going to be Akebi, well, the answer is again hidden in this visible chapter analogy. The 25th chapter of part 1 shows us Kawaki and Boruto's karma resonating, and if I'm not mistaken, Boruto tried to hold down his karma when Kawaki activated his own in chapter 23. So if chapter 24 goes down with Jura fighting Kawaki and somehow escaping, then the next big thing that I'm expecting based on this pattern is the resonance of the karma seals that will lead to the awakening of Momoshiki. So in a nutshell, it would either be chapter 25 or its cliffhanger, which will reveal the Otsutsuki to us after 25 whole chapters. As for why he was missing from the visions, well, it could be the same reason Aida couldn't catch him talking to Boruto after he revived him in chapter 67. He uses a spiritual plane to take over the body, and that's something no Shinjutsu can catch. The fact that he had a vast knowledge of Shinjutsu could be one of the reasons that he knew how to dodge the effects of any such ability. So if Momoshiki catches the attention of everyone for a while, after the karma resonance brings him out, maybe then there will be one whole chapter of Kawaki and Borushiki, which would be a rematch in this case. While the red karma wielder might appear stronger in this scenario, we still don't know how far Momoshiki can take the abilities of Boruto, such as the flying raging, the purple lightning, and especially the Uzuhiko. Momoshiki using Uzuhiko is an interesting possibility because I believe that he could utilize the planetary chakra in more than a single way. Instead of infusing it with the Byakugan, he could simply create new techniques out of it, and that would bring 5 stars to his most awaited comeback. The whole logic behind Momoshiki using the planetary chakra comes from the simple fact that it's a form of energy derived from the rotation of the planet, so it might not affect the vessel the same way normal chakra does. Like when Momoshiki absorbed the chakra of Naruto to defeat Boruto woke up instantly after the giant Rasengan, but the same might not happen with planetary energy based attacks since they work on a different form of chakra. Now talking about the giant Rasengan, there is a possibility that Momoshiki would use it on Kawaki after he takes control of Boruto's body, which at the same time means that we are getting closer to the future scene faster than expected. It all starts with the Boro battle, where Boruto, after using the giant Rasengan under Momoshiki's control, got his sleeve torn like this, and when you look at the flash forward sequence, he has gotten the sleeve torn exactly the same way. Now this could mean that he did use the giant Rasengan on someone before the Kawaki battle, and looking at the odds, it could be that it was indeed Momoshiki who used this giant version of the Rasengan on somebody, most likely Kawaki, since he's the one whom he could be fighting if the resonance theory works out. There's another character who could secretly take the spotlight if it's not Akebi or Momoshiki who would take the limelight of the story after some chapters. I believe it could be Code, and here is why I think it might be the case. One of the visions of Prescience showed Inojin using the mind jutsu to communicate with someone at what appears to be the hideout of Kashin Koji. This means Koji will be in danger, and that's why they have sent Team 10 and likely Himawari to his rescue. And the only character who could have been sent to get rid of Koji must be Code, which means we might soon get to see Himawari doing him dirty if that's actually the case. You can find out more amazing takes in these videos. Don't forget to subscribe for more amazing stuff, and I will see you next time.